That's why they say every rose has its thorn. What's going on, Jerome's? So the Vikings don't have a ton of draft capital, but they have a ton of cap space. They can suture up a lot of needs in free agency. And yes, hammer the trenches, hammer the trenches, hammer the trenches. That's why, I don't know, like, free agency hasn't happened yet, right? So every mock draft that has the Vikings going a different direction rather than offensive line and D-line, so many people freak out. What about the trenches? Yes, trenches are important, but say the Vikings just completely hammer down O-line and D-line, that definitely changes what the Vikings could and should do in the draft. They could go full-on BPA. They could address other needs. There's a lot of things going on. So tranquillo. Also, explore the space, right? Even though this is a very good defensive tackle class, I mean, say the Vikings signed Milton Williams and Osa Odighizuwa in free agency. What if they go that route? Well, they can still get a nose tackle later on. It doesn't matter. But either way, enjoy the process and go from there. But the Vikings certainly could and should be looking to trade down, get some more picks, especially given the flatness of the talent in this group. Like picks 20 through 90, going to be really talented dudes and really shaping up in a lot of different in a lot of different combinations. Chad Reuter, long story longer, Chad Reuter, NFL.com, longtime college football writer for them. 3-round mock draft, and the Vikings moving on down. Also taking a running back. Spoiler alert. So diving on in, just sort of tiptoeing through this. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter. Is there trades in this? Probably should look. Shador to the Giants, Abdul to the Patriots. I love that. Will Johnson. Genty to the Raiders. I think this is the highest that I've seen him. But if they want to run the ball and they sign Sam Darnold, I mean, this could work out. Who knows? And also, maybe they're just obsessed with Boise State running backs because they got Madison, now they got Genty. Is Jay Ajayi available and his bone-on-bone knee? Mason Graham goes to the Giants. I kind of like that. Will Quillen Williams be available? I mean, maybe. Yeah. Walter Nolan to the Panthers. I think this is the highest I've seen him. And it's good to go through a lot of these mock drafts because you get different perspectives on things. And I mean, this is the highest I've seen Walter Nolan. I mean, he certainly could be a top 10 pick, especially after testing. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Tyler Warren goes to the Saints. They got a new Jimmy Graham. The Bears make the right pick with Will Campbell. Like, set it and forget it. He'll be a great tackle for Caleb Williams a long time. Calvin Banks, thanks. Replacement for Trent Williams. Tech goes to the Cowboys. I'm kind of surprised he fell out of the top 10. Yeah, but this one, I mean, Tet and CD. I mean, that's a nice duo, man. J.L. Walker goes to the Texans. Projected trade. Okay. Yeah. Not really sold, but Jahdae Barron goes to the Colts, the versatile defensive back. So, yeah, Barron like a big slot, as well as with Kenny Moore, who's one of the best slot corners in the game. So they got that slot on lock. So Donovan goes to the Falcons. Loveland goes to Broncos. Be working out for a tight end. Tyler Booker goes to the Bengals. Kind of sucks. Definitely would have snap call took Booker at 24, but is what it is. Derek Hammond off the board going to the Seahawks. Membu going to the Buccaneers. It could be a right tackle, maybe kick inside. Who knows? Simmons goes to the Cardinals. So Simmons and Paris, I kind of like that. So you got the pairing of the Buckeye tackles. It's gonna be good. Judkins goes to the Steelers. I kind of like it. No. I think this is the first mock I've seen Judkins as a first rounder. Also, the first one I've seen him as running back 2. So, again, awesome to get different perspectives. And Najee Harris probably going to be gone. So, Judkins lead the way for the Steelers. And if they address quarterback in free agency, whether they bring back Russ or Fields or they sign Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold, I mean, that makes sense. Starks on the back end. Ooh, Starks and Derwin? Come on. Michael Williams. The Packers are just copying Howie Roseman now, just taking front 7 Georgia defenders. That's what they do. The Bills traded up with Kent Grant. Now, the trade is the Vikings get number 30, dropping 6 spots. They get 2 4th-rounders. Now, that doesn't sound huge, but in terms of the trade, did I not have the trade chart? I got the trade chart here. Aha. All right, so if you punch in the numbers in the modern Jimmy Johnson updated chart over at Draft Tech, so it's a first, 2 fourths, 108 and 131 for number 24, and it equals out about 740 to 739 on the draft chart. Now, the Vikings should and could expect a little bit more, since obviously it would be the Bills doing the asking, and usually they have to pay a premium. So I don't know, maybe add another 5th or a 6th in there. Why not? But they trade up for Kenneth Grant. Now, I would be a little bit upset if they traded out of Kenneth Grant, right? But like we said, it depends on what happens in free agency, right? But Kenneth Grant has a chance to be a truly special nose tackle in this league, just controlling multiple gaps. A 3-down guy can press the pocket, can rush the passer as well. Would love that. Hottie Campbell goes to the Dolphins. LB3 to the Rams. He's going to replace Cooper. Egbuka. So with him and Devontae Smith, Ohio State, Buckeye plus A.J. Brown, I mean, it's kind of good, man. Jonah going to the Lions. JT going to the Commies. The Vikings at 30 after the 6-pick trade down, taking Azareye'h Thomas, the pride of Florida State. Now, he's seen some great times with Florida State. He's seen some bad times with Florida State this year. But this is what Chad wrote. The Vikings face the possibility of a near-complete turnover at the corner position this offseason with 4 veterans, including Stephon Gilmore and Byron Murphy, scheduled for free agency. Thomas' size, 6'1", $191, and aggressiveness in coverage make him a first-round value. Now, I ain't mad at this pick at all. But like we said, greatly depends on what happens in free agency. So the Vikings hammer both lines. I could see the trade down, but I mean it's tough passing up Kenneth Grant. Yeah, but Azareye'h Thomas, 20 years young, 6'1", $198, a 77.9 PFF coverage grade this year. Zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell touchdowns allowed in coverage, which says a lot because Florida State was just bad, was just really ass this year. 5 pass broken up, had to pick a 50.2 quarterback rating with thrown at, which is good. He's a long-limbed outside the numbers cornerback, and beyond the whole Florida State things, like he does kind of remind me of Xavier Rhodes, but knocking out all the wood, staying healthy. Also was a standout at the Senior Bowl too, which is certainly going to help his cause. This is the scouting report, Lance Erline, NFL.com. NFL comp, Jalen Watson. Ooh, kind of like it. Overview: press man cornerback with average speed but excellent length to disrupt game flow for opponents. Thomas defers early. Looks his way from quarterback by jabbing, crowding, and smothering the release from press. He lacks route recognition and lateral twitch to stay tight to breaks from off man. He's developed his instincts and trusts his eyes from zone coverage. He has average top end speed, but competes to shrink the receiver's downfield catch odds using his length and ball skills. He's more likely to spoil a catch than make a play on the football that results in a turnover, but that could change more with experience. He's below average in run support, although he improved in that area in 2024. Thomas needs more seasoning, but he could be a good starter within 2 or 3 years. So basically, you got a cornerback project, but he does have all the raw skills that you want. He's got size, he's got length, he's got press man ability, and it's something that could certainly grow and show in the Flores defense. But again, I understand you're trading down, passing up some value. Ooh, Jackson Dart made it into the first round. Why not? Josh Connolly going to the Ravens because after the Vikings, well, obviously Grant was there at 24, but then Quinn Ewers top of the second round. But Gray Zabel is there. Turn down for Watts is there. Mike Green. Mike Green fell in the first round. I didn't even notice that. Shamar Stewart. Frankly, if the Vikings trade down, took Donovan Jackson, I would be mad. Scorton, the other Texas A&M 5 tech. Tyleek Williams. Marion Hampton, who maybe could be the running back 2 in this class. But, yeah, again, I understand, and this is the case that we're making about trading down, is that there's so much talent that's going to go on the back end of the first round as well as through the second and into the third. It's going to be pretty insane. Shamar James, Milroe goes to the Steelers as second-round pick. I don't know, day 2 quarterbacks generally don't work out unless you're Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Ravel falls all the way to the Packers, which kind of sucks. Sawyer goes to the Bucks. Princely ends up with the Bills. Speaking of which, like, how many dudes like Texas A&M and Ole Miss just racked up and stacked up on both defensive lines? Jared Wilson, second round sighting. He's a guy that I like a lot. Emin Wari goes to the Dolphins, probably replacing Javon Holland, who could leave for free agency. Kobe Bryant in the second round. You'd love to see that. Hairston as well. A little bit of run on cornerbacks in this spot. Jalen Blue, Cameron Williams, size. Hook 'em. And then third round. Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin Morrison is interesting because, honestly, if the Vikings trade down and took Morrison, if that hip checks out at 30, I wouldn't be mad at that. So, again, there's going to be so many good players that are either first round or even in the third round. And that's where the honeypot of this draft is. And it seems like that's where the honeypot for a lot of drafts are. Darius Alexander makes a top in the third round. I like him a lot. Frankly, I think Alexander could sneak into the second round. The Pride of Toledo had himself a great offseason post-game bowl, as well as I think that he's going to do really well at the Combine as well. Landon Jackson falls to the third, but still going to have – I like Landon Jackson as a 5-tech. I think he's going to be good to go. Mason Taylor, Jason Taylor's kid, goes to the Jaguars. Trey Harris, Caleb Johnson goes to the Bears. I hate that. I absolutely despise that. Caleb Johnson is going to be a very talented player in this league. Jordan Birch, TJ Sanders, Travion Henderson goes to the Patriots. I kind of like it. Again, so many talented dudes. Denzel Burke gets in the third round. Deion Walker goes to the Cardinals at 85. Wouldn't mind trading up. Yeah, Omar. I'm pissed off. Like the Packers just picking up good dudes all over the place. Omar Norman-Lott. I think he might be one of the most underrated defensive tackles in this class. Etienne goes to the Jaguars, which is really funny to me. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel goes to the Dolphins in the third round to back up Tua. Why not? It makes sense because then you don't really have to change the framework of your offense because you got two left-handed quarterbacks. Why not? Kyle McCord, makes it in the third round. Come on. It's like the demand for quarterbacks is there, but the supply is not. Yeah. Parrish, Rivers. Jordan Phillips goes to Kansas City. I love it. Jordan Phillips is my dude. I kind of like him, man. Barrett Carter. Vikings at 97. So, again, this is a 3-round mock draft, so we don't even get to see the fourth rounders. But Dylan Sampson is a running back that I greatly enjoy in this class. Sampson is 20 years young, 5'11", 201. Ran for 1,491 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns in 2024. Now, he didn't catch a ton of balls out of the backfield, but he does have that capability. And you do have to take rushing numbers from the Tennessee offense with a grain of salt because, I mean, Heupel's offense, it's very much different than what he's going to be asked to do in the pros. But NFL.com scouting overview, Lance Zierlein, NFL comparison, Brian Westbrook. It's pretty damn good, man. Overview, compact back with good instincts and run-after contact ability that propelled him to stardom in his lone season as a starter. Sampson separates himself from other backs in the class with impressive feel for timing, spacing, and blocking scheme. He uses lane development in real time and is disciplined to stay on the design track, but he can flip a switch and improve with when traffic mounts. He can wiggle around tacklers or break free from their grasp. Ball security and pass protection improvement will be early priorities for his next coaching staff. Sampson plays with the instincts of a seasoned veteran and has the talent to build on what he started in 2024. So a little bit of betting on the come, but he's definitely a riser and only 20 years young, so he definitely has a bright future ahead of him. And frankly, Sampson at 97, Azareye'h Thomas, bit of a project, yes, at 30, but if the Vikings hit it out of the ballpark in both of the trenches and then just sort of went BPA and got a couple picks back, because now the Vikings have 2/4 and 2/5 in this draft for day 3. I'm mad. I'm mad at that at all. But your thoughts are thoughts. Trade down in NFL.com's Chad Reuter's latest 3-round mock draft for the Vikings. Kind of like that deal. Let's get an extra 5th. Why not? Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.